What's going on, everybody? It's Crypto Vision here, back again with another Monday 10 a.m. live stream. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you did something you enjoy. Hope you were able to take some time out, you know, decluster the mind, kind of get away from the shenanigans, which is crypto. We all know it's shenanigans, but it's here and it's here to stay. So I do thank you for stopping by. I thank you for supporting the channel. If you're interested in deep dives, if you're interested in getting notifications for live streams, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like for more. I do offer a free Discord. It'll be linked in the description. We talk about chart updates, bullish, bearish, neutral. We talk about different setups, things of that nature. It's kind of overall macro ideas, geopolitical stuff, what's going on, trying to figure out what the heck is what's going on with the stock market, and crypto market as well. So if you're interested in that, it's linked in the description. I also offer a paid Patreon membership. So if you're looking to equip yourself with more tools at your disposal, kind of trying to expand on your trading knowledge and journey, go ahead and check that out. It's all up front. There's no hidden surprises or anything like that. So I got those for you. For today, we got some big news, right? We got some big news. So over the weekend, so back-to-back weekends, right? We've seen a sell-off, low volume, kind of a controlled correction. If you really ask me, Saturday, Sunday's been it's been controlled corrections. A little bit of tension going on in the Middle East. There, it was a I would say a carrier, an oil shipment from Iran that was seized by the United States. They tried to pass the blockade. They didn't heed any kind of warnings. They didn't. It wasn't an altercation with any kind of munitions, but the boat was boarded. Right, the ship was boarded and seized. And so, per that, obviously, Iran is going to say, "Oh, we're going to retaliate X, Y, Z. They're gonna peacock, right? We used to call it peacocking. I don't know if the terminology has changed for military verbiage, but peacocking, showing, trying to display strength, trying to display resolve when you really are just a just like an oversized chicken, right? And so they're gonna peacock. They're gonna say we're gonna retaliate. So that's what happened. Markets kind of corrected Saturday, Sunday. I mean, it's almost perfect, right? It's almost perfect. Market makers they're so good at their jobs, right? And so, and then we get news today that top Iran leaders are flying to Pakistan. The vice president is flying to Pakistan. Israel leaders and Lebanon leaders are flying to the United States. They're gonna try to. So there's two things going on, right? The United States is trying to get a peace deal with Iran while Israel is getting a peace deal with Lebanon. So two things going on at once. Iran said they wouldn't initiate any kind of negotiations unless JD Vance was present. He's going to be present, and so right, that's what we got going on. That's what's going on. It should be Tuesday is the Iran meeting, and then Thursday is the other meeting. And so right now the Navy blockade is still going on, which in reality doesn't affect Americans, right? It doesn't affect Americans, okay? Because we're not getting our oil, right? The majority, and maybe we get a little bit, but we're not getting our oil from that sector, that region, right? It's affecting the European countries, India, China, that sector of the world, right? That area of the world. And so a lot of tankers now are going through not the Strait anymore, but Panama Canal. They're getting oil from America because little do people know the United States has more oil than the Middle East. It's crazy to think that, but we do. It's more the tactic of using the opponent's oil first and then using ours. So, and not even to mention that Venezuela is now cooperating with the United States. The embassy has been opened there, and they have so much oil. So this hemisphere has just as much oil as that hemisphere. Um, and what we're doing, the United States is doing, is we're blockading, resources for the world that realistically, if we're talking about NATO, right, didn't do anything. NATO hasn't helped. NATO hasn't provided anything, and now they're paying the price because guess who majority of NATO, like Germany, gets their oil from? Well, they're going to get it from Iran. They're going to get it from Russia, right? And so these countries that are not very fond of NATO, they have to now rely on to get their resources, and so it's an unstable agreement, in my opinion, for a country that you really don't trust. You really don't, realistically, they don't trust Russia. They don't like these European countries, they don't trust Russia or Iran or the Middle Eastern countries, but they rely on a key resource to fuel their economies, right? And so that's what's really going on. There's pressure on NATO. There's pressure on Russia, right, to maybe even get Russia to stop the Ukraine war. There's a lot of layers to this that's going on. Pardon me. And so that's what's going on in the Middle East. You know, we always cover it. We always got to talk on it. We got some information on trueflation as well. We always talk, right? It's not just about the charts. If you're just looking at charts, you're going to be left behind, okay? So trueflation right now is posting a 1.74%, down from 1.88%, because gas is no longer increasing, right, for the United States. It's not. This is U.S. inflation. It's not increasing for the United States. It already hit that high point, and now we're opening up reserves. We're fracking. We're doing the things that we need to do to stay independent, energy independence, right? We can't rely on other countries for our energy, okay? That's a way to lose trade. That's a way to lose leverage, and that's really a way to lose your country's identity. If you can't provide energy, think of energy for your body. If you can't provide food for your body, if you, let's say let's say grocery stores stop selling food, right? How are you going to get your food? That's a problem, right? You got to find out a way, because if your energy sources deplete, you are no longer here, okay? So that's kind of the country's way of saying, okay, we need to have independence on energy. And so gasoline is no longer increasing, which is great. So this is trueflation, right? It's not the direct reflection of what the Fed is seeing, but this is real-time stuff. I've been using this for years. I think it's pretty accurate. It does, it hasn't been, the Fed hasn't reflected what's been going on, because it's the Fed. There's hula hoops, there's jumps. They're not on the day-to-day, right? They get a accumulation of a 30-day window, okay? And that window will come to fruition April 28th and April 29th. There is I think it's like a 98% chance of a no cut, 99.5% chance of no cut, right? You're not going to cut rates when you're in, a geopolitical shit show that we are in right now, right? Let's just be real, okay? And so there's no rate cuts coming. But this is Jerome Powell's final FOMC meeting, right? He'll be done. The new Fed chair will begin in May. So that's great news, right? Jerome Powell's out, so he'll be done. So there won't be that tension, right? It doesn't mean that interest rates are immediately going to cut because you got a guy that the current president picked. But it is gonna ease tensions between the current administration and the Fed, right? Because right now, I mean, you can cut it with a knife. It's pretty apparent. People know about it. We've seen it, right? They've gone back and forth, and so that'll come to an end. So that's great news. And then one more thing, right? One more thing that I really, really, really wanted to touch on. It's going to be big for. Let me see here if I have it on here. For the markets, right? Gold and silver, right? Let me see up through here. Maybe I'll save that for later. Yeah, I'm going to save gold and silver for later. So if you're interested in gold and silver, I'm going to save that a little bit for later. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the charts. Okay, so we're going to always start with XLM. We got to start with XLM. Okay, what do we got? We got a green dot. We got a green 3-week dot. We've been waiting for this thing for a while now. Okay. So we got the green 3-week dot, major bullish signals, right? Major bullish signals. We had one through here. Did it immediately go up? No. It was actually like setting up. Okay. Didn't immediately go up, but it did go up. Okay. Not a year of downside. Okay. We had one right here. Did it go up? Yes. And then, but we did have one right here, right? We did have one right here. We can't ignore this one, and it kind of was going sideways. Okay, it's kind of going sideways. Okay, so now we need to look at what area, what dot are we reflecting? What dot are we looking at? Because you have to look at what's going on with the macro, which we're going to get into, but also just the other indicators, right? Just the other indicators. Okay, so for this green dot, okay, we were down below the RSI levels, right down through here. Okay, we were down below the RSI. Kind of positioned up, right? Kind of positioned up. I'll erase it so you can see it. Okay, I'll erase it so you can see it. Okay, slightly up. And then our MACD was cooling off. It was just starting to cool off, okay? Just starting to cool off. Okay, so we are just starting to cool off. We're slightly going up, Okay, and I mean Fu Manchu is essentially identically the same. I mean essentially the same. Okay, so it's pretty similar, right? It's pretty similar to this green dot. Okay, so it doesn't just mean okay, green dot means up only, right? Pardon me, I got a itch in my throat. These freaking allergies are killing me. Um, so it's not always up only. Okay, it's not always up only. We had we were kind of going sideways for a little bit. Okay, going sideways for a little bit, and then we had to find another low. We had to find another low. Okay, so that's that one cause for concern. The one cause for concern that we're thinking of. You kind of had something similar through here. That first green dot, right? That first green dot. What'd you do? You ran up, and then you made a new low. Okay, then you made a new low. Then you started to go up. Okay, so it's not just okay, green dot, it's automatic. It's green dot. Okay, now we really need to get above this RSI on the moving average. Okay, so we need to, pardon me, we need to check this out. Okay, we need to check this out right here. So that's the big one we need to look at. Pardon me. I got these freaking allergies. I'm really trying not to cough. Right, I'm really trying not to cough. We're gonna go into the weekly chart. Okay. We're going to go into the weekly chart and kind of see what's going on. So this weekly chart down through here, this was that green dot on the 3-week chart. Okay, so the RSI, we were above the moving average on the RSI. Okay, no momentum, trying to get and touch the 100 level on the Fu Manchu. Okay, so still kind of look bearish if I'm being honest, right? This looked bearish. This is bearish. There's no velocity behind it. There's nothing really behind it. It's kind of just creeping up. Okay. This, crossing back above, this did look bullish at the time, right? Because you have to delete everything to the right of this vertical line. So that did look bullish. Pardon me. I got a tickle. A little tickle. And, this, as far as the Fu Manchu, no momentum. Okay, no momentum. Price action wise, right? You did have you did have some solid weeks in a row. Okay, you had some solid weeks in a row, but no big candles, right? There's no large candles. No large candles. There's nothing significant, okay? No significant candles, okay? So then we come back over here. Okay, we go back over here. I mean, just the structure so far, this is bearish. This is a bearish structure when you're just doing this. That's ugly, right? That's that ascending wedge. It's the same thing right here. Same thing right here. Right? There's no impulse, and then like a flat like this. There you go. Give me a minute. All right, I'm back. I just had to get a little cough drop. This is super dry right now. There's no flag. There's no impulse. Okay, so pretty bearish setup overall on the price action wise. We gotta look at price action. What do we have through here? This looks different, right? This does look different so far. Okay, you have an impulse. You have a 3-wave move to the downside, and then you have another impulse. Okay, so that's good. That is very good. That's what you want to see. But now is not the time to reverse. Okay, you're above your monthly open. Let me just get rid of this. Okay, because we know what we're talking about. You're finally above your monthly open. Okay, finally above your monthly open. You impulsed. 3-wave move down. Okay, so what we have is we do have a difference. We do have a difference in price structure. Okay, it structurally looks different. Okay, it really does. It really does look like something through here when we had that second We had that second green dot where you impulsed, and then you have a three-way move down, and then you impulse, right? And then you got another move down, and then you impulse. That's what you got to do. It looks like over here as well. Actually, not even as impulsive. Almost like a drizzle where you impulse and you kind of just were setting, you weren't setting new lows, which is very strange. You didn't sweep the lows. Um, but you were flagging out. You were flagging out through here. Just oscillating. Oscillating then once you broke out. Okay, so price action does look different. Okay, indicators do look the same. We can't ignore that, but price action does look different. Okay. So right now we do need to stay above the monthly open. Very key. Very key. And so what we got here is we have a cross now below. All these EMAs are pretty much down. Are down below. We're not seeing anything like any new crosses coming into fruition. In terms of the MACD, you are seeing a more vertical attack, a more vertical move. Okay. In terms of the RSI, you have flagged out, right? You flagged out, and then you back tested the moving average, and now you're breaking out of a previous area of a previous high. Okay, our previous high over here, or was it? It was right here. Right here. You didn't break that previous high. Okay, it was right here. This one right here. You didn't break it. You came right through here. Even the next one didn't break it. Okay, you needed to break this high right here. What happened once you broke that high right here, right? You broke these highs back through here. What happened? There you go. You got set up for this move. Okay? This move right here. You see how that works, right? This move right here, right? Set this up, right? Broke that's high. Did you have to correct? Yes, you did. You had to correct back down, but it still broke the high. That's what we're trying to do right now. I mean, that's what we did already. We already did that. Okay, we already did that right through here. Did that right here. Or actually, we haven't broke the high. I'm sorry. It's almost if this started to reverse right now, it'd almost be a double. It'd be a double top. So we can even move this right through here. Right through there, just like that. Okay. So what we got going on now, that's good news for XLM. That's very good news for XLM. Okay. The daily, right? We're starting to get into the daily chart, and we're living above the 50. This is exactly what we want to do. We've talked about this for a long time, living above the 50. But not just living above the 50, right? You're actually getting momentum. You had a little bit right through here, a little bit through here, but I mean, this is pretty desolate, right? I mean, this is pretty desolate. You had like one little bump right here. That was just to get more to the downside, okay? So, I mean, days. I mean, from October of 2025 to March, right? Nothing really. You had one blip. And so we need to reverse that. We need to be up, right? We need to be up for a long period of time and just have little blips to the downside. That's what we need. Okay, so this is starting off on a good note. I like that. I like the RSI. I do like the way the RSI is starting. Okay, and let's get into price action. Price action. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. So, almost coming right down to the monthly open. Almost right down to the monthly open. Did it have any kind of wick? It did. Okay, so it's not a wickless candle, which is great. We don't want a wickless candle. This is a bullish candle, I'll tell you what. It's just, you got plenty of time left. It is a bullish candle. You got this V shape, right? You got this V shape. Okay. So you came down in 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then boom, V shape. Took everything, right? And so what I'm thinking is you got this 1, 2. This 3. Could come down in a fourth wave. You really could come down in a fourth wave move, then you go get a 5. You really could. Or this qualifies as your fourth wave and you're going up in your fifth. Okay, so if we do take that into account, if we do, which we will do, ain't no ifs around here, we're doing it. Ain't no ifs. Boom. Wow. You can't say something, measure it, and then it turn out as nice as this just did. Okay, so if you're new to the channel, we look for the third wave, the 1618, and for the most part, the on a larger caps, traditional stocks, things of that nature, we look for the 2618 for the third wave move. Okay, that's a full move. Okay, so you got a 1 2 3. Okay, coming down for a fourth wave. That would be nice. So now we're looking for a fifth wave. Okay, we don't know if this is the low. That's the issue for this next move. Okay, so we don't know if that's the low, but we're going to play like that's the low. And I'm assuming it's going to be right around this 20.5 cents to the 1618. I would assume so. Maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see. How about right in between 1414? Okay, so not exactly the 1 and just short of the 1618. Okay. So I mean, if it really did, if it did get above 20 cents, that would look, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but something coming down through here like this, okay? Even if people want to say, you know, oh, it's a bear flag, right? It's a bear flag. Okay, you do something like this, fake breakout, fake breakdown. You come up like this. What are we supposed to, what are bears supposed to say, right? When you come up like this, okay? That's a breakout. Okay, it's a breakout, okay? And then you could even back test this channel. That would be an ideal situation, right? And so you would have 5 waves. Let me get rid of this, my chicken scratch, because it will take over my screen. Right? So you got a 1, 2, 3. This could be a 4, but really could be an ABC to the downside. We don't know if this is the low yet. We're going to look at the smaller time frames. But then you would have, let's say this is the fourth wave, you would have a fifth wave move. So you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you come down in a 2. Okay? Maybe back test the monthly open. Take out a bunch of liquidity. Then you have a 1, 2 setup. Then you have a 1, 2 setup. Okay? And that would look really nice if something like this happened. Almost cupping into resistance. Build a little handle, right? Oscillate down, something like this. And then go. Right? That's the idea. That'd be the idea. A nice rounded bottom. Okay? I mean, something, it would have to be something, I mean, and that would be a setup, like a setup for a setup, something like this, even over here. All right, and then you come back down. Then you go. Huh, something like that for a big setup, right? Big. We can't just make it a 52 cents. We gotta get something higher, right? So the setup has to be bigger. Okay, so that's just, you know, and I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to, you know, buy lower if the prices do sweep the lows. It's all good. It's all good. I'm not worried about it, right? Remember, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. These are just my ideas. These are my levels. If it breaks down, it breaks down. I'm gonna buy more. I'm not gonna just give up on XLM. I think XLM is the future. And we're at lows, okay, when we put this auto fib on, right? I mean, you're at lows, okay? You're at lows. Look at the weekly. Every time you're in the golden zone, I don't even care if you bought at 16 cents right here and went up to 80 cents, right? Right down through here it's at 22 cents, right? Anything below 22 cents, really anything even below the green, you're still looking at great entries, right? Great entries, okay? Not great, but I mean solid entries. That's a 200% move. Even it's moved up through here. That's a 100% move. Okay. Still solid entries. Not great, but solid. Still solid. Okay. Really, you know, really forming something nice on this chart, and so we've kind of we're not assuming, we're thinking based on structure that, all right, we're in a 1 2. Okay, you have a 1 2. Okay, you really could, I mean, this really could be an A, B, C for your third wave because it's hit the 2618 perfectly. Okay, so that means if this is the fourth wave, what do we need to find in the fourth wave to give us confidence that this is the fourth wave? Okay, so you have a 1 2, A, B, C. It could be an A, B, C like that for the third, or I like it a little bit more A, B, C for the third. Coming up in a fourth wave move, and then you come down for your fifth wave move. Okay, so then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you go up. And then you go up. You want 5 down. Typically you want 5 down, especially in a fourth wave. And so, what are we doing? What are we thinking? What are we thinking? What are we thinking? Until you break the 382. I mean, you're above the 382, okay? So we're in a bullish, we're still in a very bullish correction. It's a light correction based on the move. Okay, but realistically, I mean, you can really come back down through here and backtest this trend line again. Do one more. I mean, you realistically can come all the way down to 15.6 cents and still be good, right? You could still have a 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, don't take out the low. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, and then you go up and get your fifth. It's just the fifth wave is going to be less. It's going to be less, right? It's just going to be less, but it's still valid, right? Until you take and just don't take out that low, 15.6 cents. Okay, so that's what I got for XLM. It's looking bullish. It's looking good. Targets to the upside remain the same. I'm not changing out my targets. We're not gonna cover long-term targets. We're just covering what's going on right now. And it, when you got price like this, when you're going almost down. Oh gosh, that was so terrible. I do want to kind of see something real quick, actually. Something like that, even. Yeah, let's readjust this now. Let's get this now. Let's do this now. Perfect. Always got to be readjusting, right? Always got to be readjusting. Always got to be evolving in this game. Can't just draw one trend line and then be like, oh, that's done. Oh, price is always changing. Always changing. It's on the 4-hour chart, so it's not changing that much in terms of the trend line. Okay, so that's nice right there. That is nice. Okay, so especially once you break this trend line, that'll be nice. And then I expect, once you do that, you could even back test something like this. Back test the previous area of resistance. Okay, so we're testing it. So it's being tested. Okay, it's being tested. You got one. You got an A, B, C. I mean, this didn't even count. C. Pardon me. C. That didn't count. Okay, so I would even say C. Oh man. D. And then E. Something like that. Something like that. So the next one should be good. The next one should be good. So we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. We haven't even looked at the. This is a long video on XLM. But if you guys want me to cover your tickers, drop it in the comments, and I'll for sure get to them. Okay. Wow, look at all this. I mean, every time I look at it, it just baffles me. All this bullish divergence, golden dot. I mean, come on. Way more than this, and it moved up like crazy. Way more than this, and it moved up like crazy. More than anything. This in through here, down through here, this is crazy. This had a lot too. And it didn't do anything. It had a lot too, didn't do anything. So that's not the end all be all. RSI back above the moving average once again. Back above the moving average. Low closes 167, 166. Okay, so no kind of divergences playing out. So that's what I got for XLM. Okay, I know it's a lot of people watch the channel for XLM, so you do got a green dot on the 4-hour chart. We're starting to ping pong. We're starting to kind of figure out what we're gonna do. Okay, let's go into. I really want to check out some Bitcoin. I want to show you guys the good news. Look at that green dot on the 3-week chart. This is there we go. Look at that green dot right down through there. That's what I'm talking about. Man. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so you got a green dot down through here. It's beautiful. It's so lovely to see. You had one right down through here. Okay. You had one right down through here. Okay. So the three lowest points. Okay, the three lowest points of this pattern. Okay, so one right through here. You did have to find some new lows over the following weeks, but it wasn't that much lower. We've already talked about that. It printed right here. Okay, from that low to this low, 13%, 10, about 11 to 13%. Okay, this was the low. This was the low. So it's a 50-50 shot right now. It's a 50-50 shot. We need to figure out, okay, what are we doing? Okay, so this one came down. We really got to look at through right here. Let me put the vertical line up. Let me put this vertical line up through there. We got to look at price action. Price action is king, right? Price action is king. Okay, so pretty harsh sell-off, right? I mean, it's going to be so much different just because the price, the asset class is smaller, the market cap is smaller. It's going to sell off at a higher rate. It's going to, return your investment at a higher rate. That's just the way it is. So realistically, I'm not looking for, oh, well, this corrected at 84%. Okay, well, then this should have corrected at 84%. What did this correct at? No, it didn't correct at 84%, you knuckleheads. All right, no, it corrected at 77%, so it corrected less. Okay, it also provided less on your return on investment. Whoa, what a shocker, right? What a freaking shocker, right? This provided it's crazy. It's crazy. And this provided something crazy too, but this provided less. People are expecting a less returning on investment asset is going to correct more than something that, it doesn't make sense to me logically, okay? When you have an asset that is performing less on a return on investment, it's going to correct less. It's a larger market cap. There's more capital in it. There's more people in it. There's more eyes on it. People aren't just going to let it correct down and be like, okay, everyone's going to pile in at 40,000. Then we're all going to hold hands and make it to all-time highs. No, you're not. You're not going to get in. Market makers will not let you in. If you have buy orders at 40,000, 45,000, I don't think that's going to hold. I don't think that's going to get hit. Some people are calling for way lower, and I think they're sadly mistaken. Okay, the 3-week chart. The 3-week chart, electrical cost, 62,000. Okay, this didn't even hit it down through here. Didn't even hit it. This hit it. Okay, and wick down below it. This hit it and wick down below it. People are saying, oh, this correction isn't as bad as the other one. Well, it is technically based on how much it costs to get a Bitcoin relative to its price, and that's a driving factor of how much an asset is worth, right? How scarce is it? How much does it cost to make? Right? You can go to Walmart and buy a table, right? A manufactured table on mass production. It's obviously not going to be expensive because there's a lot of it, and the resources. There's tons of resources. If you go out and buy a custom-made wooden table that someone has to actually go out, get the wood, carve it, do all that, obviously it's going to cost more. It costs more to make. Okay, so electricity costs. I've been using this for a while. I think the low is if we are going to go down to the lows, it's going to sweep down through here very, very shallow. I do have 57 to 53. 53 I do think is the lowest of the low of the lows of the low. I really do believe it. Sorry, my lines suck most of the times. I'm sorry. I try to draw straight lines. I failed art class. Right, somewhere right through here. Okay, 54, 53,000. That's the lowest I do think Bitcoin is going to go. It's going to front run a lot of people. A lot of people are going to be pissed. A lot of people are going to wait on an entry, and they're not going to get in. They're going to have to FOMO in, and that's what I truly believe. Okay, so price action, definitely different, right? We had this is that 3-week green dot. It looks so much different. Look at this candle. Look at this bullish engulfing candle right through here. You had a very large inverted hammer. You had a very large engulfing candle. What did this candle do? It's now engulfing that candle. Okay, so this is clearly different. Okay, so for me to say, you know what, I gotta make sure that this is it's different. Okay, so I don't agree with the fact that we're gonna repeat the 4-year cycle. The 4-year cycle terminology, the people, Google searches was at an all-time high like a week ago. People are expecting a 4-year cycle. People are expecting all-time lows by October. So just buy in October. Everyone be happy. Everyone be merry. You know, too easy. It's too easy. Too straightforward. What up, bro? What up, Ryzen? Yeah, the electricity chart is the hardest to explain away as a bear. It's hey, I appreciate it, man. You got to look at both, right? Electricity chart is really showing that, and in conjunction with the geopolitical news, in conjunction with what I think gold and silver correcting, right? I do think gold and silver are going to correct, right? They're still at a key resistance level, but I haven't even, hey, Ryzen, I haven't even shown you the best chart yet. I haven't even shown you the most bullish chart yet. And I'm giving my bull case, right? And there's reasons for it. It's not just, oh, I'm bullish, this, that, and the other. There's other reasons for me being bullish, okay? You probably have an idea because I did post it in the Discord. The Russell chart looks extremely bullish, but yeah, electricity costs, it's not going to dip far below that. It won't, right? It just won't, because it's what drives the price of Bitcoin, right? These are the people that are mining Bitcoin to sell Bitcoin. All right, these are the manufacturers, right? It's like buying supplies at Walmart are going straight to the manufacturer who's making the supplies, right? If the price dips below the people that are making the supplies, if it gets down below, they go negative, they don't exist anymore. Bitcoin goes to zero. Right? It's not a winning strategy. I do think that we're finding resistance right at this 50 EMA, which is fine. It's normal. It's normal to find resistance at these levels when you've been beat down by them, right? This saying you got beat down through here, okay? So, find some support through here. I mean, look at this. When we're doing this on a daily chart now, on a daily chart, it almost looks like a diag, okay? So you got 5 waves up on a diag, okay? So like a 1, 2. You have a B, C. So, right? So you have a 3, you have a 4, you have a 5. I think you do need to maybe you need to come down. I think if you stay above 68,000, you're golden. 68,000. What do we have? I'm pretty sure we have 68,000 on there. Bada bing, bada boom, baby. Right at the monthly open. Look at how that 1-2 fits perfectly. No hindsight, right? We're not going back and changing the charts. I don't go back and change charts like that. Nope. We had 78,572 for a very long time. What did it come up to? 78,390. Okay. It's what, $182 off. Right? Yeah, $182 off. So I'm not, I'm sorry I can't get everything identical, but it's pretty. I mean, for me, if I'm giving myself a grade, that's pretty good. Okay, so Bitcoin, right? If we're coming down in a corrective move, right? In a corrective move, 68,000 is fine for me. People don't want to see 68. That's fine. Back test the monthly open. Clear out a bunch of leverage, and then go. And then you have a 1-2. You have a hidden 1-2. People aren't going to see this because it's not as impulsive as what people want. It's a diag. It's ugly. People don't see it, right? People aren't going to see, oh, yeah, it's 5 waves up. Nope, people aren't going to see that. So it's not going to be the end of the world if it comes down through here and corrects. In terms of, and I do think for us to finish up, I mean, I do think it would be nice to see the correction. I mean, you're above all your key resistance levels. So that's what I got for that. The way the channel works, the way the channel operates, until you defeat 78K, 71 is back on the table. Okay. Once you beat 78K, 88K is back on the table. Okay. Is on the table. So that's the way the channel works. That's the way the channel operates. I do have 57 all the way down to like 53. Pardon me. What up, Banano? People call to a new move down for BTC to 65 this week. I could see 68. 65 would invalidate the move. 65 would invalidate the move. I don't see 65. I mean, dude, if we're really being honest, we got to think, okay, what's happening in the Middle East? I mean, it's as simple as that. Bears want war, bulls want peace. If we're really boiling it down to what's really going on, bears want chaos in the world. Bears want uncertainty in the world. They don't want the Clarity Act to get through. They don't want piece to be resolved, because that brings stability to markets, and with stability to markets, that brings risk on appetite, right? So that's, and it's not like a personal thing. It's not like that they want war because they like war. It's just because it drives markets down, right? It's pretty simple. It drives oil up, drives markets down. And so if the 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 peace talks go through, bears are going to lose straight up. There's no saving bears. If the peace talks go through and the war is over, it's over. There's no doubt in my mind that up, we're going up, that the low is in. Okay, so pretty much the piece, it's kind of crazy to say that, I'm a big guy that I look at the charts, I look at price action, I look at how it's developing, and I can kind of tell you the news. I'm almost thinking that there's going to be some kind of, going into it, people are going to be uncertain, they're going to be nervous, and then come Tuesday, come Thursday, I think there's going to be some good news, and I think people are going to be shocked. Um, I mean, and when you're looking at these candles, these are not bearish. These are not bearish candles. These are not. It's not three soldiers, right? You don't have like three little candles up. Okay, you don't have like three. You don't have this either. You don't have this where you have like two little candles going up, right? You don't have that. Okay, you have a bullish engulfing. So that's good. That's what we want to see. Okay. And so we always got to give base cases. We got to give cases for both the good and the bad. Okay, the good and the bad. This is another good. I mean, I can't, I can't make it up. I can't make it up right now. This does have three little soldiers, which is not the greatest. It's not the greatest. We don't really want to see three little guys. We want to see a big candle. But what do you think we have on the 3-week chart? Only on the others chart. We have a green dot on the others chart on the 3-week chart. Okay. No, we don't have it on, for some reason. It's not on the. Oh, it is on the total. It got printed. Oh, look at that. It got printed. That really caught me. I was doing my due diligence. You got to go through and make sure that you can understand what you're going to talk about before you do it. Yeah, that hadn't printed. So we're going to talk about the total as well. Oh, that is legit. That is. That is, because now we get to compare, right? It's pretty much the Bitcoin chart. I mean, if we're being honest, it's the Bitcoin chart. Okay. With a little discrepancy. There's a little change in it, but I really want to cover the others chart. I really do, because we've been on this freaking trend line for almost seems like eternity. Okay, we drew out this trend line a very long time ago. If you're new to the channel, we don't go back and add in stuff. If I do anything, I change it. It'll be based off of large moves, based off of invalidation. So if this came down through here, broke down and rejected, then yeah, we'd get rid of it and change it. But until then, just because it hit it and maybe it wicked down, it came down through here and closed maybe below, and until a trend line is taken, full body, rejected, then you can get rid of it and move it, in my opinion. Okay, until then, it's a magnet. And right now, this thing is a freaking magnet. Okay, we got a green dot on the 3-week chart. Okay, so 3-week chart, we got a green dot right through here. Buy signal, we had one right through here. Buy signal, we own one right through here. Buy signal. I'm not gonna count that. Don't count it against me if I leave that out. I'm sorry. Okay, but that's So we're gonna compare these other two buy signals. What do we have right through here? Well, we have the low is in. Okay, candles are a little bit different. Okay, candles are a little bit different. Let's put the vertical lines on so we can see. Because candles are different. The candles are different around there. Look at that. Both of those, when when that dot flashed, the low was in. The low is in. Did it come back down and sweep? That almost is a flat pattern up through here. Right? It didn't sweep the lows. It trapped bears. But right through here, it was the lows. It came down pretty close to take out liquidity, and then it started to run. And this is what we need. We need this 1-2 setup. We need a 1-2 setup. Before I even get excited about a third wave, before I even get excited about crypto, we need this. We need that. We don't have that. And it's going to be scary because you're going to come up to resistance and you're going to freaking reject, and then you're going to come back down, and then it's like, oh my gosh, here we go again. Are we going to hold? And you're just going to, hold your breath and turn off the charts for a couple days and see what's going on. I don't understand your indicator. There's a red dot and green dot everywhere. Yeah, so the way that the indicator works, okay, the way the indicator works is it's like the MACD, right? It's similar to the MACD, but with divergences, right? So what you're really looking at, really looking at green dot potential buy orders, okay, with a wave, right? So this is almost the wave. The wave is almost the MACD, right? So this is bearish momentum, bullish momentum, bearish momentum, bullish momentum. Okay, it has the stochastics. Okay, so you have when you're crossing above, you're bullish. When you're crossing down below, you're bearish. Okay, and then you have the zero level. Okay, the zero level, and then the 100 level. Okay, that's what the stochastic is. When the stochastic runs up and hits this 100 level with this momentum, that's when you're seeing very large moves. Okay, that's when you're seeing very large moves. When your stochastic is down at the zero level with your momentum down all the way below, your negative 40s, your negative 50s sometimes, right? This came down to negative 50. Those are clear buy opportunities for me personally. You have to have the indicator and use the indicator to understand it. You can't just open it up and be like, oh, because it is confusing, right? You have bearish divergence, right? Bearish divergence. Okay, so that shows that the price is not reflecting the momentum, right? So it's starting to weaken, and then price is obviously probably still going up and or sideways. It's starting to flail. So, for example, I showed you two examples of you're down below this 50 level, negative 50, and this green dot with the stochastic down here at the zero line, Okay, and those were the lows. And then when you come up through here, right here, this was a good time to sell. Right here, this was when it flashed. This red dot flashed. Okay, and then what happened? There was a green dot right through here at this bottom. Not the exact bottom because it's a 3-week chart, right? That's why we zoom into the weekly, the daily. But trend-wise, then what happened? Then the trend was up. And then what do you happen? You have a red dot, and then trend is down. Okay. When the momentum is, when the stochastic is down on the floor and the momentum is under zero, those are my times when I'm looking to buy. So I hope that makes sense. There's a lot of information on the indicator. That's why I use it. So it's a great. I think right now it's looking promising. There's reasons to think that peace talks are going to go well. All right, there's reason to believe peace talks are going to go well. This weekly chart is starting to. Right, you got like a couple candles in a row. I really don't like that until you get out of here. I don't like that. That's the thing. You got that green dot on the 3-week chart, but this right here is just not. It's not it. I mean, yeah, you could do something like this, but this is pretty vertical. This is starting to channel like that. I don't like that. I don't like it. I really don't. I really, really, really don't like it. Gosh dang, it's so confusing because this looks bearish, but it's still bouncing on this trend line. You're above the stochastic, like I was talking about banana, right? So you cross the stochastic. You're waiting for some momentum to come up through here now. RSI is good. MACD, you got to get above the zero. Doesn't really matter right now. RSI looks nice though. But overall, I mean, it's just. I feel like it just. I feel like it just needs to come down a little bit. I really do. I feel like it needs to come down a little bit. Take out some lows. Form a base. Because right now it's not really doing anything, if I'm being honest. I got you, Banano. I hope that helps. Right, it's starting to kind of look a little bearish. You know, I hope this can come up. You know, kind of correct in three waves, and then because this is just a range at this point. There's not really a setup, right? There's not a setup going on, not right now. So others chart, I know it's printing a green 3-week dot, but it's not not the end all be all, right? Not the end all be all. Going to the Russell. Look at the Russell chart. I mean, this is incredible. 3-week buy dot, 3-week buy signal right through here. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. We talked about this. We talked about how why this is bullish, especially went into it deep on the premium chart, on the premium member side, but it's bullish. It's bullish. Oh, dang it. Freaking allergies. So this is looking great. This is looking bullish. I'm looking for another target going up to 28.58. It cleared our targets and almost back tested it too. It's kind of nice, right? I mean, it pretty much did. Look at that. Look at that. What was the low? 27.36, 27.37. All right, you back test that. You keep going. No hindsight. Put it up in there. Bag it and tag it. We're looking at USDT. We're going to look at some of that for show. We're still waiting on gold on this chart on the monthly. Once this monthly chart prints green, I'm going to call the bottom. I don't care what the price is at. That's how accurate this chart has been with a green dot on the monthly, right? Green dot on the monthly. Called the lows. Called the lows, right? Once this chart turns green, I'm going to just say, hey, the low is in. I don't care what it does. I don't care if it comes back down to 60,000. The low is in. That's what I'll say. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll own it, but at least I'll have a solidified position. I'm not wishy-washy. I'm not just trying to be right. I'm trying to see what the heck is going on, right? You got to see what's going on. You got to have a position, your evidence for your position, and then stand by your position. You can't just, at least for me, I can't be credible and hold both sides. I'd rather be wrong and say, you know what, I was wrong, but you know this was the reason why I was bullish. This is the reason why I was bearish. Than to be playing both sides. You know, I see a lot of people that make YouTube videos play both sides, and I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that. I want to be someone that has a position. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and that's that. I almost want to see if this is oscillating down at a right through here like this at this point. Something like that. Like that. It's still just, I mean, it does look like a correction. Until you get 5 down, you can come back up in 3 and then come back down in 5. So this is stablecoin dominance. We really want to see this chart go down. This chart's going down. Stocks, crypto is going up. Found support. I mean, right, we had 7.091. This thing came down to 7.09. I mean, you can't make it up. The low is 7.094. We had 7.091. No hindsight. I don't go back, change anything out. Right? These are just the levels that we come to with fib levels, previous resistance, previous areas of support, things of that nature, and just work through these levels. Right? They don't just appear on the chart. We got to put them on the chart. Conviction is key. Yes, it is, Ryzen. And the way for me to build conviction is evidence, right? The way for me personally to build conviction is it's not historical. It doesn't have to be, you know, like the 4-year cycle. To me personally, the 4-year cycle, it's not logical for me. It's not logical for me that the masses know about the 4-year cycle. The herd, right, retail know about the 4-year cycle. Okay, so it's already been on display. The 4-year cycle, 4-year cycle, 4-year cycle. The 4-year cycle has been regurgitated by a lot of large YouTube influencers. Very large, right? Very large. They have a lot of people following, a lot of people listening. Okay, so you got that. So you got 2 red flags. And then the third red flag is time doesn't equal price, right? I mean, in terms of time doesn't change an asset's price. It'll change over time, but it's not changing due to time. Okay, it's changing due to liquidity. It's changing due to risk on environment. Okay, so we have to analyze, are we in a risk on environment? Is quantitative tightening in place? No, quantitative tightening is not in place. Is the Fed cutting rates? No, the Fed isn't cutting rates, right? They're holding rates still. Last but not least, what is the Fed's balance sheet showing? And it's showing that the Fed's balance sheet is expanding, okay? And that could be correlated with the PMI expanding. In all bear markets, okay, the Fed isn't pumping in money, okay? Typically, the Fed is actually cutting rates drastically because they're trying to save an economy that is struggling, okay? So really, holding rates isn't that terrible, right? Holding rates isn't that bad. It's showing stability, right? Markets aren't fluctuating a crazy amount. Typically with large rate cuts, there's actually a very large dump. You can go back, check it out. I've looked into it. I'm a big macro guy, and big rate cuts equal big dumps, so I don't really want a big rate cut. And then last but not least is the Fed balance sheet expanding or contracting? Is PMI expanding or contracting? And we've already talked about that multiple times. I cover those typically on Wednesday, and I'll cover those on Wednesday again. Same thing, right? This is expanding. This chart is expanding, and this chart is expanding. And so we factor in those. We factor in the idea that, you know, major crypto has been correcting for a long time, especially if I believe that this is an ABC, a flat pattern. Okay, I believe it's a very confusing flat pattern, and people that are waiting on the 4-year cycle to buy in October of 2026 because they think that's when the low will be. Okay, they people think, okay, well, it takes months and months and months to be down here. Okay, I mean, there is a good point that it takes months and months and months to be down here. I mean, weeks and weeks, I guess, right? But realistically, at the lows, November to January, so 2 months at the lows. This low was in February to March, 1 month. Okay, so not as long, but it's still, I mean, a period of time down in this zone. Okay, period of time down in the zone, and you're really starting to see. For me personally, I'm really starting to see this play out. Right, a lot of people are maybe ignoring this. Okay, I think market makers are really gonna. I don't even think this is the difficult position. I know I'm going on a tangent. I'm sorry. I always do this, but I don't think this is the difficult position. I think the difficult position is going to be at 93,000, 93 to 88,000. My lines are terrible. I'm so sorry. That is the hard position because realistically you could be in a 1, 2, 3. You can come up here, and then what happens? Then you reject, and then you're oscillating down. Okay, are you forming an inverted head and shoulders pattern? Are you forming a cup and handle pattern? Right? Are you forming a cup and handle pattern? Okay. That's the difficult position for me. If you drop a little bit lower, that's fine. Take out the lows, and the lows are swept. Now the only thing is really to the upside. That would really, in my opinion, I would rather have that, right? Come down through here, take out some lows, then go, because then I'm not worried about it. Then I'm not worried, well, dang, there's a lot of liquidity down low there. There's a lot of leverage longs down at 68,000. Because if you reject at 93,000, you're not targeting 68,000 anymore. If you come up like this, you're no longer just targeting 68,000. You're targeting all the way down through here. You're gonna sweep a bunch of stuff down through here, and that's ugly to me. And that's the way that I truly believe it's gonna happen is if you reject 93,000, it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a lot of pain. Yes, you're right. You do. I mean, people who have studied the 4-year cycle need to see that cycle break for sure, because it wouldn't make sense to abandon it if it hasn't broken yet. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I will say right here, I mean, look at that. I've marked April 20th for a long time. The Rising Phoenix, Banano, Absurd, Luna, a couple of people that are always watching. Daniel, you guys know that I've talked about April 20th, right? If this closes this week, I've already talked about closing above previous areas. If that closes above that previous RSI high, That is so much different than this right through here. That is so much different because we're talking about closing, but like this, I'm not counting this high. Oh, oh yeah, you did. You closed, right? you, you can't be serious and say, oh shoot, you can't be serious and say, this close right here is higher than this. That can't be. That's not real, right? That's not real. It's this high. This was the high that you needed to get above. Look how high that is, right? That's how high it is. That's how much it dropped. Not even, you can't even see it. Look at this. This is different because you moved into it, right? Just like you moved into it. Okay. And so you close above that on the weekly chart. Telling you, it's not game. I mean, it could be game over because by that point, I mean, this week is going to be huge. We've called this week out for a very long time, April 20th. We've called out this week mainly because of this chart right through here. I just moved it, right? I just updated it. Pardon me. But it is still in the daily chart right through here. I mean, at this point, it already fell through on the daily. I may need to update this. I've had this on here for a long time. I may need to update this again. But this chart now is we're starting to see, whether or not this can really break down or if we need three waves back up. Okay, if we need three waves back up. Do you guys have any personal chart requests? If you guys have any chart requests, any cryptos, traditional stocks. Look at Buttcoin. Juicy's probably going crazy in Discord. Fort, we covered this last live stream. This one we covered last live stream too. Pardon me. I need to get this other cough drop in. Fort. I'm just thinking. Who? I don't think it was oil. You want me to cover crude oil? You want me to cover crude oil? Well, what's the exact ticker, and I can look at it. I should have added this a while ago. That's on me. I've been slacking a little bit. I've been so dang busy just with work and other stuff. I get on here and I think I'm covering everything, and then I'm not, and it's just got to be better. Luna, AVAX, yeah, I got you. I'll cover AVAX for sure. I'm just gonna see crude oil. All right, I'm gonna cover Ryzen's oil first, and then I got you, brother. Crude oil. Is it futures? I'm sorry, I don't. Crude oil futures. I feel like it's this New York Mex. I feel like it's this. Is this it? I feel like this is it. Is this it? Yeah, up to 120. Yeah, this is it, right? Saya coin. I got you, brother. Okay, I think this is it, Phoenix. I'm not 100% sure. I really want to get rid of this. How do I get rid of this stuff? Man, that's ugly on the chart. I think this is it. Yep, that's good. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, just price action wise, this thing looks very nice actually. Very nice. You almost have like there's 1, 2, A, B, C, 3. I think you're in a fourth wave. Just by looking at it, let's check it out and see what's going on. And if you're in a fourth wave move down, you typically need a fifth wave move up. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. That's a powerful move. That is a extremely powerful move. Um, wow. Okay, let me see this real quick. I mean, I don't even know how to if I should take that, but I'm going to. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay, it's not gonna work. Work. All right. Almost looks like silver a little bit, if I'm being honest. Just with this last part of silver, how silver did this nice move up through here. It really does look like silver. Um, Nice area of resistance right there. Look at that. Hit that 691 side. See the. I don't know why. Crypto does not like this 69197, but my traditional stocks, oil, things love this. And I'm actually gonna move it. Do I want to move it? Do I want to move it? Do I want to move it? I need to put it on the daily. There we go. Yeah, you got some like exact wicks to it, which I do like to see. I mean, that last one, that's kind of a big rejection right there. I do want to kind of capture that rejection. Let me see what this rejection is at. See what it looks like right there. Yeah, look at that one too. Like that, all of these were below it, right? Once you get above it, I do like that. I do like that. Look at this one too. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, cool. All right, so we can get rid of this. So right now, $78. You know, if we're really being honest, let me see through here. And this 867. Somewhere like right there, actually. Perfect. Okay. So I do think it's in a correction. It does look like it's in a correction. We're gonna look at the indicators. Um, right now, it does look like it wants to kind of move up a little bit. We're even gonna look at the daily. You're still above your moving averages on your price. What about auto fib? Yeah, it hit this overbought zone perfectly. Look at that. This red right in that good value, extremely good value range. And so, yeah, this thing looks and the last time what happened the last time you got up to this really overbought zone, you came down to that green zone, borderline that the golden zone, borderline. So, by the time this, cuz it's on the weekly, by the time this comes up and maybe comes down like this, maybe this has come down through here like this cuz these will move, right? These will move. Something like that. Um, yeah, it does look, it looked toppy for sure, toppy. There was no bearish divergence though. No bearish divergence. You had that red dot through there. No cross on the stochastics for the MACD. MACD. No red dot yet on the 2-week chart. You get a red dot up here, you're pretty much in trouble. Right? You're pretty much in trouble. I mean, you got one up through here, you're in trouble. You got one through here. Sorry, through here, you're in trouble. So it's not like stablecoin dominance where you print a red dot and then it continues to go up, right? This um through here it did when it was grinding up. This thing was grinding up. I think we were in a different. It just looks so much different. It's impulsive. This move's actually nicer. It'll probably lead to a bigger move to the upside if I'm being honest. But I do think it'll need a correction, prolonged correction. It's maybe another couple weeks, 3, 4, 5 weeks, something like that, 6 weeks. Just enough for crypto to really get going, and then once this gets going, crypto's probably correcting, and there'll be some narrative out there. There'll be something out there. 10-day chart, red dot up here on a 10-day chart. That's not great. All right, it's not great. Let me see right there. Bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, I mean you had them up through here. What is the difference? No difference actually. No difference actually. No difference actually. So that's not the end all be all, right? I mean, you had the red dot. You started to correct, but realistically, your stochastic didn't hit the zero. You didn't lose any momentum, right? You didn't lose any momentum. So as long as you're not losing momentum, then you're good. If you're up here, you have a red dot, and you start losing momentum, that's when you really get in trouble. Through here, you're losing that momentum. The stochastic starts to correct. I do want to see the daily chart. Wow. Big bearish divergence. Very big bearish divergence. Whoa. Very large bearish divergence on the RSI for the daily. Yeah, this thing needed to close. Really needs to take out this low down through here. Did it take out this low? I think it did. Did it take out that low? If it didn't, oh, it didn't. Wow. Yeah, you really want to see that low taken for sure. Just to reset this whole move. So it didn't take it, it bounced, it front ran in a little bit. So I could see, I could actually see this trying to kind of trapping bears a little bit, right? Because they're gonna think, oh, we're good. It's gonna it's gonna reject right here and kind of creep up a little bit, maybe back up to 97, 100, and then really set any kind of entry points down here, the trap back longs again. So yeah, something like through here, probably a channel, because it does look like it wants to front run it, which would be odd because I mean, this depending on peace talks, what's going on with that. So yeah, that's what I got. $97. Big, you get above 97, you're looking for higher than 120, and if you get down below 78, you're looking at 66. So all right, I got AVAX coming up. I'm actually might enter AVAX. It looks so good. It looks so good. Luna, you're gonna be stoked, bro. You are gonna be stoked. It's one of the best looking coins out there actually right now. It is one of the best looking coins out there. I'm about to enter it for my profit lab series. I should have entered it. I mean, I did enter, but I got stopped out down at 755. But okay, this looks very similar to down here through here. You have to agree, right? It looks very similar to where we're at right now to down there. Right, two candles, right? Just kind of setting that low after a very long correction. This correction is extremely long, right? Brutal. Okay, long, not as brutal as in terms of return on investment. But what do we got here? We got a green dot. We had that green dot. What do we have right here? We had that green dot. Okay, so it's looking good. You got that green dot on the 3-week chart. Every time you've had a green dot, I don't even have to tell you. I'm just going to show you. Every time you've had a green dot, look at that. Boom. This is 3-week chart, right? So this is 3, 6, 9, 12 weeks. Bada bing, bada boom. Green dot. What do we do? Ran up. Green dot. What do we do? Ran up. Green dot. What do we do? Ran up. So, pick your poison. I'm liking AVAX right here. Possibly with the trailing stop loss, right? Trailing stop loss, AVAX here. Looks very good, very promising. It has the longest 10-day bullish divergence out of any crypto. Okay. I've been a very big advocate of AVAX. So I think AVAX is a solid play. This thing's getting real leaky down through here. It's really starting to get this momentum, almost like, I do liken it to surfing when you're pumping, when you're getting momentum, right? You're going, you're pulling up your board, you're slamming it down. Okay, you're getting a little bit more momentum, you're pulling up your board, slamming it down, and then you start to see the results of your labor, fruit of your labor, right? It's not instant, but you do see that, right? So you're almost gaining momentum to do something like this, do something crazy like that from $9. So I do like that. I mean, the RSI, you're starting to break out. So AVAX, every time it's printed this green dot, it has seen upside price action. Okay, upside price action. This one was the least. This one had the least length of time, but it still went up from a low to a high when it printed. went up 111%. It printed on this week right here. So the worst case scenario of historical reference, right? The worst case scenario of historical reference went up 111%. That's right above the 20-day moving average at $18. That's pretty solid, right? Pretty solid. So I do like AVAX. And that was the worst one, right? That was the least length of time for upside price action, and also it provided the least return on investment. But they all did, right? All those dots did. Okay. The weekly chart. I think I have something up here for this. There we go. Man, I made this thing such a long time ago. This is now green. You know, when you're up at $55 from $8. Yeah, that's a freaking green. That's a green. That's a take profit zone for show. Look at this, back above the monthly open. I do like that. I do like that it's going sideways. It's just going sideways, being really boring, being inconspicuous. People aren't thinking about it. People aren't talking about it. So we have resistance at $12 to $15. What did we say? We said like $18, something up through here. So you really realistically come up through here, 18, and then come back down. Back test. Back test. Okay. That would be a nice move for AVAX for sure. In terms of the RSI, I mean, a lot of these RSIs are really starting to look really bullish. Really want to move this up through here. Pardon me. Do we have, what is the close? Get out of here. What is the close? Close is at 995. What was this close at? I just want to see the price. $9 even. Okay, $9 even, 995. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Through here, close. 90. No, that's not the close. 860. No. Okay, cool. So like Banana was asking, how the heck do you read this chart through this indicator through here? Well, you know, once you have this green dot, I mean, look at all this bullish divergence. It's crazy. It's from August of 2024 all the way to December of 2025. That's such a long time. That's such a long time. That's not even the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about a 10-day. Okay. So similar things right there. We had this huge bullish divergence. We kind of chopped around. It was kind of ugly for a little bit, right? Huge bullish divergence. We're kind of chopped around. It's ugly a little bit, and then off to the races we went. Above the moving average on your RSI. What are we doing through here? We got above it, slam below it. Got above it, so got above it, slam below it, and then that next time you got above it was key. So really trying to see what AVAX can do this week. I've been talking about this week being big for a very long time, and you know, I'm sticking to it. This bullish divergence, oh, it is the same, pretty much. Oh, sorry, it is a little bit longer. August 2024 all the way to January of 2026. You know, almost 2 years. Almost 2 years of bullish divergence. This had bullish divergence from, you know, from June of 2022 to January 2023, and this led to, you know, this move that you probably experienced or saw. Something through here, right? This led to this. So we have bullish divergence that is not only longer, but I think is more powerful. You know, we just have to see what's playing out. So that's what I got for AVAX. Daily chart's probably going to be really boring. So yeah, staying above the monthly open is key. So 913, staying above that. It looks ugly. It almost looks like a diag, but it really doesn't at the same time. There's no, you know, there's no third wave that is standing out. It looks pretty ugly, if I'm being honest. This looks pretty ugly. I would kind of like it to come back down and reset everything. It needs the impulse and the reset, but all in all, I do think AVAX is a good play. So, you know, if we're looking at the 4-hour chart, it's going sideways. It's going sideways, and like I said, not much going on. Green dot on the 4-hour chart, back above the moving average, but like I said, it's still you know, staying above the monthly open is good, but I wouldn't mind a lot of these, you know, that look like it's in a 1-2, almost like an ABC 3-4. like come back down, get a fifth wave. Um, but then a fifth wave of what? A fifth wave of what? Of what? Of this overall move right through here? Of this overall move. So you have an, so you possibly have an A, B, C, right? That could be that could really be a move A, B, C. So you need, 5 waves down of this last wave through here. So, you're welcome. Yep, you're welcome. No worries. I'm going to check out Sia Coin. If you guys have any more, drop them down. If no more, then Sia Coin will be. Look at XLM go, baby. Look at that thing go, baby. Let's go. XLM. Let's do it. TARS. Sorry, Banana. You know I'm going to get to it. I'm just waiting on TARS, man. I get, me, I get sidetracked. I'm like the dog character from Up, where just like when you see ball, it's just ball, squirrel. Same kind of concept. I just, there's so many things to cover, and I try to cover as much as I can in the time that I have. It's just, oh wait, what about this? What about that? What about this? Because I'm really looking to get into the TARS AI. Okay, sorry. Sia Coin, 1% up. 1% up. Look at this, 965, still just hanging out. Wait, why? Why, oh why? Wait, what? Oh, I didn't put it on the 4-hour chart? What? Oh, that's wild. Okay, let me do this real quick for you. Are you in Sia Coin, Banana, or are you waiting for Sia Coin to get to a level? That's a big difference in strategy, right? Are you in or are you waiting? If you're waiting, this sideways price action is probably killing you because you want one thing or the other. Price action still looks ugly as heck. I mean, now it's like there's diagonals everywhere, right? You got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 5 waves up, right? 1, 3, 5, 2, 4. Most impulsive. Longest correction. So if you do, that means you're gonna see some moves to the upside. You're not in yet. You're not in yet. Man. Am I the only person that does that covers Sia Coin that you know of? Or do you watch other people? What are other people saying about Sia Coin? I'm just curious, right? I'm not in it. I probably won't get in it. I'm already in DGen. I'm looking to get into TARS, so I'm already occupied with some lower cap plays. I'm just curious. I like to see what people think. I do like the coin. I do think it can do well. Any kind of AI, really. So we do a 5 waves up. The chart Sia B/BTC is bullish. I think I covered that last time. I do think overall the chart is the asset is bullish because you're super oversold. Right? Extremely oversold. Look at my auto fib. If you're in the golden zone, I mean even down through here, just relative to what it's been at. Yeah. My honest opinion, right? It's just my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. But even when someone like me, who's always in the charts, who's been doing this for a long time, I have never timed a low. I've never timed an exact entry at the exact low. I've never done it. And so, what I'm trying to get at is if you think you're waiting for the exact low, I think that's dangerous. I do. I think if you have conviction in a chart, you like a chart, you've done your research on a chart, um, you have a plan for a chart or an asset class. You know the possibility of a possible another low, this, that, the other. If you really believe in something that much, if you really believe Sciacoin can get up to, I don't know, 2 cents, right? It's at 0.0009, right? That's a large move. That's a very large move, right? That's a 25x. Okay, God, let's say it goes down to I don't know, 0.0008. 7. It's a 28x. So you get another 300%, another 400%. Um, for me personally, that's my philosophy on XLM, right? I haven't timed the lows. I didn't time the lows the first move. I'm not gonna time the lows this next move. Okay, but I'm in at relative lows. Okay, I will say though that this is starting to get a little bearish. This is starting to get a little bearish because of this channel forming like this. I do expect a correction to come to Sciacoin. I do. I've been saying it for a while, right? I've been saying it for a while. I really do think it's going to try to take out this 9.3 level again. Possibly lower, but that would invalidate this move. So if you close below 931, this is just another bull, I would say bull trap. It's not I can't really imagine a lot of money being in this coin, right? There's not tons of liquidity to trap. But I do think it would be another trap, right? Come down here and then you would have to take out the lows. And probably come down to 0.0008. Something like that. Yeah, good news. Yeah, I think it's good news. I think Sciacoin is at, I mean, it's pretty low, right? It's $54 million asset. It's at lows, right? So it is good news, right? There's some key levels, right? Key levels to understand and to know. Other than that, stick to a plan, make a plan, and you know the deal. I think that's it. Unless anyone has any last minute calls, any last calls. Wow, look at Fort. We covered this. Wow, look at Fort. Perfect on this level. 151. What did this get to? 151. No way. That's incredible. I think we did this on Wednesday. I think it was like right here. We made this. Wow. It's cool. It's just cool when that happens, Sometimes it's like, oh wow, this stuff actually works. Kind of surprise yourself a little bit. So, no one else has anything. No one else, no requests, nothing like that. Look at MSTR's going. Oh boy. Were you in it? Yeah, I've seen SHX. I've seen it. It's still up. Yep. I was watching this. Look at this. No. Hey, I'm telling you guys. I'm telling you. And you get this stuff with that premium membership. You guys will get all of this stuff all updated for charts. Look at this. This thing came down at 52181. Low 52193. That's crazy. Right? That's crazy. And that's a big support area. Came right down here. Could have been a nice entry right through here. Stop loss right below it. Right? Could have like a 1-2. Going into the, right? I gotta do some advertising, right? I gotta do some advertising for what I offer. Realistically, right? Got to. I think it's a fair value. That's what I've heard. $5 a month. at all this stuff because I can't cover everything. There's a lot of stuff on those charts that I just cannot get to. There's so many. Look at this. Look at this. It's perfect. It's perfect. Can't make it up. Can't make it up. So, yeah, it looks, the structure looks, I mean, even on the, let me see, on the 1 hour. Wow. 2, 3. I mean, you really have an A, B, C, 3. You could have a fourth and you come down for a fifth. Something like that. You really could. Could be almost done though, because this looks like, did this take out this low? It did. It did take out the low. So it'd have to have a new setup. I would have to have a new setup. New setup. So, alrighty. I think that's, yeah, Shix would have been a good play. There was a green dot posted on it. So a lot of my Discord buddies, a lot of the premium members, they had that update for SHX. There's a couple other big updates that dropped for buy orders that are coming in. So all of that is through the Discord. Algo, yeah. There's some big things coming this week. I think there's some big things coming this week. So, as always, if you like today's video, hit that like button. Subscribe for more. I go live Mondays and Wednesdays. I do deep dives on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and my premium members get exclusive videos on Fridays. And so we cover a bunch of stuff, a bunch of things that we're looking to get into, assets and things of that nature. So, as always, I thank you for your time. I thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take it easy. Peace.